So we had our Fan First Friday today, and it was just as, simple as they said it was going to be, with no product reveals, even though people were still expecting that for some reason. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to the kind of, the 6th episode of the Lightning Storm Power Month series that I'm doing. So these are, a little bit more quicker, kind of just get the news out there kind of things, especially because Power Month is just having stuff drop non-stop here. So now, one thing I want to go ahead and just say right from the beginning here is that typically, when we have Fan First Fridays, as we had one just now, I don't do a Lightning Storm episode like I typically do on Saturdays, because usually there's nothing else to talk about after a Fan First Friday. There's a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot of stuff happening this week that has nothing to do necessarily with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff that we got this week. So this video right here will be recapping what we learned at the Fan First Friday, and there will still be a regular proper episode of Lightning Storm tomorrow that I expect will be quite lengthy because we have a lot of things to discuss. So yeah, basically today we had the Fan First Friday that they announced this past Tuesday, which back then they had announced it was going to be this desk designer event, which was going to kind of go into details about how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sets that we saw this past week came to be. So we had Loretta and Irvin from the Power Rangers team, who we've seen on previous live streams and such like that, and they were joined by guests. So we had Junist from the Viacom CBS team, so he was there to represent Nickelodeon and kind of the Ninja Turtles aspect of this. And then we had the comic writer Ryan Parrott himself, the kind of person who is currently in charge of all of the Power Rangers comics and stuff over at Boom. And he was also the writer of the TMNT crossover series last year, so that just makes sense that he's here. And basically, they spent the first half of this live stream kind of going into the process and kind of how did the crossover itself come to be before we got to the figures. So there's not really a lot for me to recap during that. If you want to hear Ryan talk about his, the background of the story and everything like that, we'll leave, of course, the link to the Fan First Friday in the description below if you guys want to check that out. It was really entertaining. I thought it was just fun to hear him. He's definitely, you could tell, very excited about this crossover series, and especially the figures, just as I and many other people are. So, yeah, that was really cool. And then, of course, we took a look at the figures individually, kind of going all over it. So, we got to see a lot of the stuff for these figures that we didn't get to see over the last 4 days. So, first of all, Tom Whalen released his box artworks. So if you want to see the full renders of the artwork that he, did for these sets, we finally got to see all of those. So that's really pretty. Just nice to see the full thing that you couldn't see on the promo shots of the box. And then Loretta broke down every figure, and we got to see more promo shots than what we saw when they went up for pre-order and stuff like that. So that was just really cool to see all these different poses and different things like that. And we did get to see, she showed off these were still prototype stage figures, but they were, I would say, pretty close to the mass retail versions that we're going to get. So she showed off every figure and what makes them tick, things about that. The turtle head sculpts, we got to see a really cool sketch of the process that they went through when they were designing the head sculpts for these guys. And like I said, we learned about some things that we didn't know. For example, Donnie in the Leo and Donnie 2-pack we saw on Monday comes with not only the Power Axe in its Bow Staff Extended mode, but you also get the regular Power Axe that we're used to having from all the other Black Ranger releases in the Lightning Collection. So that was something that I had no idea that it had. None of the promo shots seem to indicate that whatsoever, and so I'm assuming it's hiding behind a part of the box that we can't see. So that's really cool, and that's going to be important later for something for the other weapons, which I'm sure you can probably guess. So yeah, I wasn't sure if you could just detach the bow staff piece or something. I kind of figured maybe you could, or if you really wanted, you could have just grabbed the Power Axe from another figure if you wanted to have just the Power Axe. But yeah, no, you do get both, so that is very well appreciated. Also in the comics, you can really see it on this cover for the comics. Leo's kind of sword weapons that are based off of Billy's Power Lance. Just like Billy's Power Lance, he could combine them into a full lance weapon or have the two individual swords, and you can combine these here. So that was something we didn't see before, and I'm happy that you are able to combine them. So basically everything you would probably want the weapons to do, the weapons can do. So that's good. I definitely appreciate that, and that's across the board with all of these figures. Mikey's nunchucks can come apart to have the little daggers. You can put them all in the holsters, all that stuff. Exactly what you would expect and want them to do. you can do it. So April O'Neil, of course, she comes with pretty much the same kind of stuff that the Pink Ranger every other release we've had, but they kind of did her bow up in like a silvery kind of pearlescent color, so it's not the exact same power bow we've had. Well, it is, but like color wise it's not the exact same power bow. It looks kind of similar to me to like the metallic armor Pink Ranger one. It's kind of similar to that. So yeah, you get that and everything, so I mean, cool. And the camera and the microphone, things we discussed before. I'm kind of trying to just go over the new stuff more than just kind of the stuff that, you know, we already knew from before. We did get to see, well, we saw this before, but, you know, Cool pointed it out, that the Raphael figure has the nice hands where the fingers are, like, you know, posed correctly for him to hold the sai. So that looks really great. We got to see the Tommy figure and kind of how the whole foot soldier head thing works out with the civilian head sculpt and the little, like, you know, bottom part of the mask and everything, which works out pretty much exactly how you'd expect it to. You have Shredder here looking badass. They did a really cool thing where Loretta did hold them up to see, you know, size comparisons. So Shredder's a little bit bigger, as you would expect. The Turtles are just like a hair smaller than the Rangers, which is accurate to the comic for the most part and stuff like that. So they did take scale into account. Loretta did specifically mention that they have received a lot of comments about our monster figures, and yeah, because the scaling, that's the worst scaling in the Lightning Collection, in my opinion, and many others' opinion. So I'm happy that they did kind of address that, or she made a passing mention to it. Yeah, but I mean, that was really it for all the figures and everything. Obviously, like I said, these were still prototypes, so like she said that there could be slight differentiations between the colors in the final release and stuff like that. I don't know if that would mean that they'll fix things like Shredder's Morpher being silver when it should be gold. I don't know. Who knows what's going on with that, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the breakdown of the figures there. And then we got some really cool promo shots that we didn't have before of the whole set together. One picture shows all of them like huddled around pizza boxes. Unfortunately, you don't get any pizza boxes in any of these releases. As much as I think that would be really, really cool. Unfortunately, you just don't. But we got to see this really badass picture of the Green Ranger Shredder holding Tommy up by the collar. Where was this picture yesterday? This thing is awesome. I love this picture a lot. You also get the confirmation that you can form the Power Blaster. So this picture here is a really good recreation of the exact panel from the comics where they do this. And so that was something I was hoping that they would be able to do, because they, like I said, did do it in the comic. And yeah, you can. So you can combine the weapons to make the Power Blaster, the Turtle Ranger weapons version of it, which combines the same way as the regular Mighty Morphin Rangers, since their weapons are based off of the same things, or, you know, based off of those. So yeah, I mean, looks fantastic here. And they specifically said no new product reveals today, so there was nothing new revealed other than just kind of new information about the stuff that they revealed this past week. And that really concludes week 1 of Power Month. So as we already knew before, that they had said Power Month each week is going to have a theme to it. So obviously week 1's theme was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that concludes our first week. So we have, I would assume, 3 more weeks of themes that we do not know what they are going to be yet. Whatever the next figure reveal is, will be figure number 100. Whether they want to do something special for that or not, no idea. One thing that they did clarify about the weeks, something that I guess we'll be getting every week now, are these posters to represent each of the themes for the week. So here is the poster for week 1's theme of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is this really, really cool artwork, which it's an original piece done by @Kikai_Kotaki. So yeah, this looks fantastic. I want them to sell this. They didn't really say anything about if they were going to sell this in any way, but I would definitely buy a poster print of this, not only because it's Lightning Collection related, but also just it's a really cool looking piece of artwork. I love the Turtle Rangers, and I would like to own that, and also just to kind of celebrate, you know, Power Month and whatever this wound up being in the end. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really it for the Fan First Friday today. You know, people were asking me what I think they were going to reveal. Nothing, because they basically said that they weren't going to reveal anything when they tweeted out, or when they posted that they were going to be doing their Fan First Friday this week, so it wasn't anything that I wasn't expecting. They basically said it was going to be a behind the scenes on the figures, and it was behind the scenes on the figures. So I'm not expecting any reveals this weekend. I could be wrong, but I'm expecting, you know, week 2 to kick off on Monday, just like we had week 1 kick off this past Monday, kind of. I mean, I would say that there's still a couple things that trickled out during Sunday, like the Dino Fury pre-orders and Andros going up on Target, although you couldn't order him, just the link went up on Target. that were kind of like the unofficial start, and then it kind of really kicked off on Monday. So maybe we'll see the start of week 2 on Monday. I'll do some more theorizing on what I think the weeks will be, and a bunch of the other Lightning Collection information we had this week, because we had a bunch of other stuff going on that I do want to discuss. And be sure to check that out in Lightning Storm tomorrow. So yeah, there'll be a regular Lightning Storm episode at noon tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. And if you're sick of hearing about the turtles, I really won't talk much about the turtles tomorrow. That's not really the focus of it. This is kind of the, I guess, until they start releasing and stuff like that, kind of the last, talk about with the turtles and everything now that the week is over. So if you're sick of it, it's over. So, yeah, that's it. So thank you all for watching this little recap episode of the Fan First Friday event that literally just ended like a half hour ago. And yeah, that's all I got. So thank you all for watching. Thank you also if you watched the live stream reaction I did with my friend Roland this morning. You can check that out as well. Also, he provided me links to put in the description below on where you can pre-order these sets if you live internationally. He's from Australia, so those are some links for that. I've also put in there, I guess I could put in there as well, the links to like Big Bad Toy Store, GameStop, Pulse and stuff like that, because that's where all these are being sold if you did not pick them up or you didn't check out the videos from the rest of the week. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I will see you all tomorrow for the next episode, the next proper episode of Lightning Storm. And until next time, I'll see you on Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice.